Hello everyone and welcome to another video, my track guide for the Ferrari 296 challenge car going around Thruxton. Let's have a look at it. We're starting on the left side of the track. We do have to brake a little bit for the first turn, and we do it once we get past the orange bit here on the left. We're actually just trail braking, holding no more than 10% brake pressure, and we're holding those few percent to just before we get to the curb. Just before we get to the curb, we want to slowly start to apply the throttle again. We do that so we don't get too far left on the exit. That will make the corner going up the hill a lot easier. Coming up the hill, we want to be on the left side of the track, keeping full throttle all the way up the hill, and we want to brake just about halfway between the 100 board and the 150 board here on the left. We're going to sacrifice the exits out of turn 2 and 3, so we get a better exit out of turn 4. Once I start to brake, I go to 40% initially, and once the car straightens out, I go to about 80%. After that, we are trailing the brake all the way to the inside curb, which we're cutting fairly aggressively. Once we land from this curb, we will apply the throttle just a little bit, aiming to end up in the middle of the track. We need to brake just a little bit for turn 3, and we do that once we turn in, again aiming to cut all of the inside curb, and applying the throttle once we land. Then we want to shift it into 4th, and just as we turn into turn 4, we want to lift off the throttle just a little bit, to about 70%. In this run I lifted off way too much, and you can see that in my time. Just make sure you don't cut the inside curb of turn 4, as that will unsettle the car quite a lot. Now we want to get over to the right side of the track for turn 5, and we want to be all the way up on the curb here just in front of us. As the curb ends, we want to lift off the throttle, we don't have to brake here at all, and then we want to let the car roll out through the corner. We want to stay as close as we can to the inside curb, only going onto the curb in the later part of the corner. Just before we go for the late apex, we want to start to apply the throttle again, and we want to get back to the middle of the track. Just about a car length before the road changes color, we want to start to brake for turn 6. I do a hit to just about 40%, and we're trailing that off to where the color changes back on the road. As the color changes as well, you want to start to apply the throttle again, and here we want to really ease it in, to make sure we don't go off track on the exit. And we want to apex just around the marshal post to make sure we stay within the track limits. It is about scrubbing off as little speed as possible, all the way down to turn 8. After turn 7, go out to the left side of the track to open up turn 8 a lot more. We don't have to brake for turn 8 at all we do is lift off once we pass this little line here just in front of us. And we want to let the car coast, getting in and cutting all of the inside curb close to the marshal's posts. Once we cross the inside white line of the track, we can start to slowly apply the throttle again. Then you want to let the car walk out to the left side of the track, utilizing all of the available room here on the outside curb. Just make sure to get in time, otherwise you will get a 1x. Stay on the left side of the track. For turns 10, 11 and 12, we want to cut all of the curbs, and this is going to be our hardest braking zone on the track. We want to be braking once we pass the 100 board here on the left. I aim for about 75% brake pressure. We're holding that for a little bit before we start to ease off the pressure all the way to the curb of turn 10. Make sure to cut the curb only with the right side wheels. Once we cut the curb of turn 10, we want to start to apply the throttle again and throw the car into turn 11. Again, cutting all of the curb, throwing the car back, cutting all of the curb for turn 12. A little lift so we don't get wheel spin, and once we land from that, go full throttle again. Getting this right is really satisfying. And that's my lap around Thruxton in the Ferrari 296 challenge car with a time of 1 minute 7.7. I have more track guides for the challenge car linked down below. Hopefully you found this one useful. If you did, leave a like down below, consider subscribing as well, and now for the uninterrupted hot laps.